Hi guys, this is Dizal. I am a flight attendant. On June 30th, 2015, immediately upon takeoff, my life changed while working a flight from Dallas, Texas to Hartford, Connecticut, 38,000 feet in the air. And I'm reading my notes because if I don't, I can ramble. I do have the gift of gab, and you guys, please trust me, you want me to read. With no warning or symptoms, I would experience something that would change my life forever. And this is very painful to relive. They leveled off the airplane. Before setting up the galley to serve my passengers, I began feeling nauseous. And I had a sudden urge to visit the first class lab. After a series of bouts of vomiting and bloody diarrhea, and contacting the captain who did not, I might add, divert the plane to get me help, I tried very hard not to panic. I teetered between consciousness and unconsciousness, trying my best not to faint. I tried everything I could to hold it together, not knowing what was happening to me. My flight attendant coworker helped me by giving me fluids. She gave me ginger ale and water to drink. And she continued to contact the captain via the telephone up front, but to no avail. I consumed 2 oxygen tanks, drinking lots of fluid in between, and running to the lab with the urge of diarrhea. I was losing a lot of blood. Eventually, I was spewing nothing but blood. I cleaned myself up, looking back at the toilet bowl, to nothing but bright red liquid covering it. I tried to remember my flight attendant training. I remained calm. Usually I am good under pressure. I could not understand why the captain was not diverting. However, I do not think the passengers in first class had a clue about what was going on. I was bleeding and I needed help. Everything was such a blur. Finally, after 2.5 hours of bleeding and diarrhea again at this point, the captain called up front to talk to me. My coworker handed me the phone. He asked me if I needed help. I whispered yes. And then he asked my coworker to page for a medical volunteer. The first thing a man came up to me. He introduced himself as a retired medical doctor. The first thing out of his mouth after he took one look at me was, "First of all, you're not going to die." Wow. I was not even thinking on that level, but okay. After we talked for what seemed like an eternity, he told my coworker to call the captain again and to tell him that I needed an ambulance to meet the flight. Finally, after we landed in Hartford, and got to the hospital, they stopped the bleeding. Things were happening too fast. Next, they gave me something to drink before the CT scan. The doctor came in the next day and told me that he found a small lesion and that he took a nice sized chunk to biopsy it. A week later, after I was discharged from the hospital, the doctor's office called me and said that the lesion was benign, but that I should find a surgeon and get it removed anyway. There are many details that I have skipped because this post would be too long. I will continue to journal and write on the GoFundMe page to keep you posted. Fast forward to today, September 21st, 2019. Getting back to July 2015, when I was first diagnosed, the second hospital did another CT scan 2 weeks later and diagnosed me correctly with adenocarcinoma of the transverse colon. This hospital also found 2 tiny hemangiomas on my liver via a CT scan. The doctor told me that it was nothing and not to worry about the scratches. I refused the recommended chemo and radiation. Instead, I worked with a naturopathic doctor, and over 2.5 years, I worked with him over 2.5 years until I became obstructed and had a surgical resection in September 2018. Nevertheless, as of the June 2019 CT scans, I have now been downgraded to stage 4 colon cancer with liver metastases. A total of 4 scratches. Yes, you heard it correctly. If you're reading my GoFundMe page, you read it correctly. Before surgery last September 2018, my colorectal surgeon saw the liver scratches and said that he would have a liver surgeon in the operating room if he felt the scratches would be a concern. That never happened. The scratches obviously did not concern him. I urgently need your help to do alternative cancer treatments in a Germany clinic that I've been accepted to. That would pay for the travel, the protocols, the post-treatment, supplies, follow-up travel, and to fund the at-home follow-up protocols afterwards. The treatments will consist of many things, including the most innovative procedures to allow the body to heal. If you can donate any amount, I would greatly appreciate it. I really would like to learn to manage this cancer. Ideally, I would like to get rid of it. I would like to return to work, have a great quality of life. Because I've already had surgery, one of the gold standards, 1 out of 3 of the gold standard, combined with the alternative or the naturopathic treatments, my team is classified as integrative. I appreciate and thank you in advance for all of your help. Thank you so much.